What's going on, fam? This is Mr.Cologne76. I'm back again today with another live session. Today, I'm bringing on a guest with a beard that's three times as big as mine. I'm bringing on Big Beard Business. We're going to be chopping it up. We've got a conversation that we're going to be exchanging some ideas. We are going to get some questions answered from our audience. So, welcome in. Chillax. I hope you brought something to drink. I'm going to have mine after because I need to keep the head right when I bring on Mr. Big Beard Business. So, I'm going to get right down to business. Before I bring Big Beard Business on, I want to introduce you all to my scent of the evening. I'm going to lower my music here a little bit. It's a little bit loud. And I'm going to pin a comment so we know what's going on. All right, so my scent of the evening comes from Savoir-Faire. All right, this fragrance, I actually sampled this fragrance, courtesy quality fragrance. He sent me a sample some time ago, and I was really feeling it. So, first real wear of the fragrance, my Savoir-Faire scent of the day. This is called Soul Cafe. So I'm showing you guys this as I'm seeing it for the first time myself. This is the full presentation. All right. So shout out to my boy Chris Classic. Chris Classic did send this to me, and I appreciate the love. All right, this looks pretty nice, y'all. Pretty freaking nice. All right, so scent of the evening, Soul Cafe, my Savoir-Faire. Cubano is saying that it's fire. I already know. How many sprays should I go with this, y'all? How many sprays? How many sprays should I go with this? Let's see. I see another comment about Soul Cafe being the fire. So, I did like five on the arms. And we're going to do the neck because it's almost bedtime for me. You feel me? So, Soul Cafe, my scent of the evening. I see votes for 5. I think I did 3, 2, and I did about 2 on the dome. So, I did 7 sprays. Soul Cafe, scent of the evening. All right, today's guest is in the room. Before I bring him on, I got to do something real quick. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit. We're going to embarrass Big Beard Business real quick.
Oh, hello, beard, it's your boy Big B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. So I recently did a video talking about fragrances that I wish I would have.
All right, so make some noise. I'm getting ready to bring on Big Beard Business. It is a real pleasure, a real honor to bring him on my channel. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to the person that made today's show happen. She's in the audience, Valley Vaughn, the Perfume Dawn. Hey, Valley Vaughn, if you are somewhere that you could hop on right now for 2 minutes, I want to bring you on for a quick second to have you tell the people what inspired you to start the movement. So, Valley Vaughn, if you're there, we didn't even plan this, but I felt like it would be a nice thing to do. It was thanks to her that we're having this live right now. So, Valley Vaughn, it's all on you, baby. If you are available, if you could join us right now, I want to bring you on for 2 seconds just to meet the peeps. So, we're waiting on Valley Vaughn. Let's see what's going to happen. In the meantime, I smell real good, y'all. I smell real good. Is Big Beard Business going to smell better than me? We'll see. He's got some competition. I know he's got a lot of juice, but he's got some competition. So I'm still waiting on Valley Vaughn. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds. All right. All right. So Valley Vaughn can't come on right now. Big Beard Business, drop a comment so I can send you an invitation to bring you on the camera. Triple B, drop a comment. I should have told Valley Vaughn what I was going to do, but it was just impromptu. I just decided right now. So Triple B, Big Beard Business, drop a comment so I can send you an invitation to bring you. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, y'all. Yo, what's good?
What's good, my brother? How you feeling?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. It's good to see you.
You as well, man. Yeah, it's finally good. We got this linked up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We live.
All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. For those of you guys that are watching, I'm gonna ask Big Beard Business some questions back and forth. But as you guys know how I do it, I will take answers from the audience. I will take questions, sorry, from the audience. So wait until I ask those questions, so I don't have to go scrolling too far. Save a little bit of time. All right. So Triple B,
What's up, baby?
What's your scent of the evening?
I got on Upper Class by Royal Crown.
Upper Class by Royal Crown.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. So we're going to have the audience. We're going to have the audience. Those of you guys that have tried both those fragrances, I'm wearing Soul Cafe from Chris Classic, My Sabbath Fair. Those of you that are familiar with those two fragrances, let us know what's going on. So we're going to hop right into it. How would you first? Let me back up for a second.
Yeah.
First, I want to say thank you for taking some time out to connect today. This really means a lot to me. You are one of the YouTubers that I've looked up to. You've always been real solid, doing your thing, and it means a lot to me. It means a lot to the fragrance community that's here watching to get a chance to see this happen. So I want to start off by saying thank you.
I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for having me here, man. You know how it be. Listen, I be watching from afar, you know. Listen, you're the man when it comes to this, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to watch and learn, baby.
I appreciate that. So I'll do a couple of icebreakers. What's your fragrance style like?
Oh man, to me it's kind of over the board, man. But really, I like gourmand fragrances. I'm into those sweet, heavy, resonant scents. To me, that just do something to me. You know, I like to smell edible. That way, so they work for me, and the missus enjoys them as well. So that's my lane right there.
True. Can you drop a gourmand that makes it go crazy?
Oh yeah, Black Phantom is a 10 out of 10 for both of us. That's one of the ones we go crazy for. I think it's like a semi-gourmand, but obviously I talk about it a ton. So Mula Mula is one that just goes crazy, that gets in continuous rotation. And then we got a few others that I like to keep on the wrap, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. And Byron Parfums is actually in the audience. I saw him earlier. So shout out to Byron Parfums. I still remember the first day I smelled Mula Mula. I was like, God damn, this thing is, whoo, man.
Yeah, they sent it to me wrapped up like it was a brick, man. I had to cut it all open. I was like, this?
True. So if you were to think back for the past 3 months, what are some of the fragrances that kind of stand out in your mind? You know, I know you smell a lot of fragrances.
Yeah.
What are maybe 3 brands that kind of stand out in your mind from the last 3 months?
I've been sampling a lot here lately because I try to get stuff that people want me to talk about, but then I've been trying to dive in more to stuff that I really want. And Nishane is a brand that I've really been trying to go crazy on, man. I've just been blind buying everything that I can get my hands on from them. I've really come with. You posted a picture of this, so you was really the first person I saw post a picture of this. But the House of Oud, so I got a ton of samples from them via Crystal Fragrance that I'm really just trying to dive into that house. And then I like the new Mula Mula, man, the new Mula Mula Rouge Extreme. So that was dope too. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, I'm just gonna pat myself in the back. If I could influence Big Bear Business, I'm doing something right.
Right. You and Cuba, man. Yeah, both of y'all guys, man. Yeah. Shout
out to Cuba. He's in the audience as well. So, do you consider yourself a reviewer, influencer, content creator? What do you consider yourself?
Man, I think it's a different vibe. I think it's kind of like a mix of everything, right? I think some people may look at me as an influence. I get a lot of people like, yo, I check your videos out before I buy something, right? So to me, in that case, I'm an influencer, but a lot of that comes by way of the content that we created. So I guess it's a mixture of all of them, you know what I mean? But I just tell people I talk about fragrances.
All right. Mm-hmm. How did you get into that?
Into the fragrance or YouTube? Which one? Let's
start with fragrances. How did you get into fragrances?
So a long time ago, I did music. I was in a group, And our manager at the time, he was really into fragrances, so he had a fragrance room in his house. First time I ever seen anything like this, and he introduced us to it. So we would raid his closet or his fragrance room before we would go out on the road and just take take that back along with us. And it kind of just grew into something that has stuck with me, even though we aren't a part of that scene anymore.
Wow. So what time frame was this, and what were some of those fragrances? Do you remember?
Oh man, we started. It's so crazy because the group came together. I don't know, maybe 2000, right? Is when we kind of formed the group. Dolce & Gabbana Ba was one that was really like my go-to back then. Is one of the ones I would grab onto. And I can't really remember the names of the other ones. It was just kind of, I would just grab it like, hey, this would smell good. I'm going to take this one. He'd be like, all right, just bring it back type of situation. So that's really the one that I can remember a lot from back then was Dolce & Gabbana Ba, man. That was amazing.
All right. So you were just kind of spraying and praying, put it on, hope it do its thing. And the next time you had a chance, you would grab something else. So what happened is that you ended up in the YouTube space. And for those of you that don't know Big Bear Business, you're obviously not a fraghead. If you're a fraghead, you know Big Bear Business. But if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, well, welcome. This is me. But no, man, the YouTube that started with my wife. I did a few videos years and years ago, but it wasn't nothing serious. And I took a 4-year hiatus, right? I was talking about beards and stuff. I cut my dreads off, so it was just sort of process of me documenting that. And I was like, I'm done with it. But she was really like, hey, you need to do this, and kind of convinced me to do it probably about a year or so. And then I was like, look, let's work this out. You edit the videos. I will actually, she said she'll edit them. And then, I just stuck with it. So she's the blame for all of this. You know what I mean?
Wow. Well, I want to publicly, acknowledge your wife as someone that creates a lot of content. I don't, Nosy Couture doesn't really create content for me, but she has really been the backbone of Mr.Cologne76. Yeah. I say all the time, had it not been for her, I would have crashed and burned a long time ago.
Yeah, it'd be like that. She keep me in check if I say something wrong. She's not afraid to check me. She's like, you know what? You got to do that over.
Yeah. Well, I really love hearing that. I really, really love hearing that. On another note, no pun intended, is she available for hire to edit videos?
Right? Yeah, man. Listen, we be banging out so much content, and we got a lot of other stuff coming. But maybe one day we'll free up.
Yeah. So let's talk about your channel a little bit. First of all, the name Big Beard Business. How did that come about?
Yeah, so that was kind of how it all started, right? I was cutting my dreads. I was planning on growing a beard. I was a business professional, and then I was going to be working out, right? So everyone thinks because I planned on growing this massive beard, but that wasn't really the case there. So I just put those things together and just made it a channel name. I felt it was catchy.
All right, it's definitely catchy. Definitely catchy. I'm gonna backtrack for a moment. The word influencer. It has mixed connotations in a lot of spaces. I've embraced it. What are your thoughts on people that frown upon or want to talk trash about or use the word influence in a negative sense?
Yeah, so to me, that's like you said. I feel like everyone's an influencer, right? So we just have a platform. That's the difference. In most cases, you've heard this probably all the time, especially if being on Instagram and seeing sales memes, etc. It's like, I need to check my wife, right? That's an influencer. Or I didn't call my friend. He has this. That's an influencer. That's really it. It's an outside person trying to give you their perspective on a certain product. So if people come to us more often, then that's, I guess, they just respect our opinion. We've been able to be spot on, but I don't think it really has anything negative about it.
Well said. And I get on that soapbox frequently. I tell people, look, if your coworker comes to work and say, yo, you got to watch Game of Thrones, they're influencing. You know what I mean? If your coworker says, hey, you need to try this restaurant, they got the best fried chicken, they're influencer. So I like what you added about using your platform. So thank you for that little nugget right there. I'll definitely be using that. So your wife was your biggest inspiration. What would you say is the biggest mistake you ever made in your journey as, Big Bear business?
Not being consistent. Not being consistent. Like I always think, I try to reflect, but also try to think ahead. If I wouldn't have stopped, and probably just if I would have stuck to doing the beards and the other stuff that I was doing, that'd probably be a lot bigger than it is now. And even doing this the fragrance piece of it, I've taken a lot of breaks in between, whether I'm moving or something of that nature, or just like I don't feel like doing it and taking a break. I think that kind of hinders you, right? Because really YouTube works in this algorithm set and you have momentum. So I could be having videos drop that's gaining momentum, but I stop, right? So that stops the momentum and I got to kind of start the process over again. At least that's how it's worked for me so far. So that's one of the things that I feel like we probably missed on and need to double down on to make sure that, we keep things going in the right direction.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to take some questions from our wonderful audience. We got 72 people on right now. I'm going to take some questions while they're popping up. I'm just going to quote some statistics from your Instagram, your YouTube channel.
All right.
You have 112,000 subscribers.
Shout out to every one of them, even the ones that
How many videos do you have on your channel?
600 and something, I think. Yeah, 600 and something over the course of these last, I guess, almost 4 years at this point.
Wow. So you're putting out a video more than once a week?
Yeah. So we started out 3 times a week, and then she had the idea of us going 5 days a week, so we did that. And then early 2019, we kind of made this blueprint. We're going to go every day. And we tried that for like a month and a half. That was a really difficult time to sit there and try to get all that done. Because outside of YouTube, I'm extremely busy. You got a family, kids. You already know. We talked about
Yeah.
It's very difficult to do that. But we put the effort forward to do it. I think we still can, but it was just a long process to get that done.
That sounds exhausting, bro. Every day. Wow.
It is.
Yeah. But when you've made a couple hundred videos, I guess it's, you don't even have to do second takes at that point.
No, you do though. At least for me, because what I try to do is, like, I know some people write me like, "Oh, why do you talk like that?" But I try to make things like impact will hit certain words a certain way. I have to say "mula mula" a certain way. I have to say "Black Phantom" a certain way for it to.
Can we hear it? Can we hear it real quick?
Oh, me? Black Phantom. You know what I'm saying? Or "mula" or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, no, you didn't hit the business right. You know what I'm saying? Do that over.
Right. All right. So I'm going to scroll back here. We got a couple of questions. I'm going to scroll back. Let's see here. First question is from my boy all the way in India, Sense with Singh. His question is, when is the launch happening?
Oh, yeah. So I was in the middle of a conversation. I had to break that to do this one here. It's coming soon. Like, I would say, I have a date in mind. I can't tell you the date, but I would say I would be like in the next 2 months. You'll see it. I got a lot of stuff sitting right here that I got to finalize on, but next 2 months you'll see it. It'll be ready to go. Hopefully before that, but I got some content coming to kind of give you some more details on that real soon, as we already discussed. Coming soon, baby.
Appreciate that. Another hardworking brother, knows no notes. His question is, will you be making beard oils in your fragrance line?
So we've had that conversation. I think it's something that we definitely can explore. In fact, I had that conversation where I was thinking about doing something like that in 2019. A lot of stuff behind the scenes, though. So, you could possibly see a lot of that stuff coming real soon.
All right. Let's see here. Mr. Niche Guy. This is another passionate fragrance lover that just got done making his own blends. What he's asking, what is your favorite indie or artisanal perfume house?
Oh, man, it's so weird to me because when I think of like indie and niche, they kind of blur the lines a lot for me. I would say I hate to keep giving like this dude a shout out because I feel like I'm slighting other people, but I have a lot of from the indie collections that I have. I wear Mula Mula the most. I think he's indie, right? But I wear him the most from those. But I really like Chris Collins. He does an amazing job of stuff, and I feel like I love his vision and what he's representing. So I would say right there, I would have to kind of go for those two for me right now. But to me, you know, I would look at Nishane. Like, would you consider them indie or would you consider them niche? You know what I'm saying? So
I would consider them. I would consider Nishane niche. Now his question was indie or artisanal. So indie house.
Indie house. I'm gonna have to go just because I wear more. I'm gonna have to go with Byron because I wear more than everything right now.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Shout out to Byron. Let's see here. Rockboy PYT is asking, are you allowed to say the name of the fragrance brand just yet?
Well, what I can say is the partnership is with Navitus, right? So that's kind of there. But that's all I'm allowed to give right now.
All right, I can respect that.
It's not because it's like, hey, it's a stoppage point. It's just from getting everything, all the legal documents together. So once all that stuff comes back from the lawyers, then we can, talk about everything else. But that's
right. Right. Let's see here. Reviews from the six. How do you find the energy to just talk about fragrances when there are so many other things to talk about in today's world? That's a weird question.
No, but a very valid question though, right? Because listen, too much in anything can get he was like, yeah, I just don't feel like doing it, right? So like I love Reese's peanut butter cups, and if I eat too many of them, I'm gonna toss them away, right? And it's the same.
Right.
In terms of keeping going with the fragrances, that's more so of an expectation, right? So I think, as you mentioned, I have 112,000 subscribers, and they join for a reason, and that's what they want to hear me talk about, right? So, but what we're trying to do is sign up a different channel. So I made another one. I've just been putting the links in the videos. I haven't talked about it yet, but that's going to be where we go through and we talk about everything else, right? So whether it's finance, like how to manage your money, because no matter how much money you make, if you're not managing it well, it doesn't matter. Fitness, lifestyle, all of that stuff will be housed on that separate channel.
All right.
That gives me everything.
All right. Appreciate that. We'll take a question here from Special J. What advice would you give to a young or old upcoming YouTuber?
I think one of the first things I always tell people is because I think it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to do what the more popular people do, right? So I think obviously in the world of fragrance, Jeremy is probably the most popular person. So it would be easy to try to follow his format and bring women on your channel and get their responses to fragrances, etc. Like there's somebody who they are already watching for that, right? So you got to create your own lane and carve it out. Be prepared for the hate, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people who don't agree with you, right? Whether it's your accent, the way you look, or your choice in fragrances, or whatever it is that you're pursuing or talking about. So be prepared for that, and also have an outlet to speak to that. And then also, I would say is what I said I missed out on is to be consistent in an approach, especially if you're brand new, right? So, if your goal is to make money, then understand what it takes for you to make money in YouTube or any social media platform. But if your goal is just to share your view and vision, then make sure that you understand that the views and notoriety may not always follow that.
Excellent advice. Thank you for that question, Special J, all the way from Jamaica. I gotta get to Jamaica soon. Bomba clad. All right. We'll take one more question and then I'll dive back into what I have to ask Triple B. This comes from Nose Notes, another YouTuber. He said, what is your motivation for coming back, especially after taking a hiatus?
My wife, the vision that she had. That was it. Like I had a lot of other stuff that I prefer. Like my work, my real work takes a lot of my time, like a whole lot of it, right? So when I'm home, I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I'd rather try to work on something else. But she was like, no, look, this is what I see, right? I was already talking to people about fragrances, but just wasn't on that platform. I spent a lot of time watching videos of people. I would instead of listening to music in cars, I watch a lot of videos by listening to them in the car, so I don't get to comment on a lot of people's videos because I be on the road and I be listening to it. So she's like, you just need to do it, and that was really the motivation, the vision behind it. Her being persistent and trying to get me to do it.
Does she ever get in front of the camera?
Yeah. So for our other channel, we have a family channel called Lifestyles of the Broken Unknown. So she is on that one. And then she did makeup on Instagram for a while. So she has a following on that side. She hasn't done much of it since we moved here. Obviously, there hasn't a ton for us to be able to do since we've been here, but that's her bread and butter over there.
Yeah. What's her Instagram name? Because there's some people in the fragrance community that like makeup and stuff, so we definitely want to support.
It's Bonnie Macabre, BONNIE. MACABRE. Yeah, but she's also she's on the Lifestyle of the Broken Unknown channel, so you can find it there as well.
All right, Lifestyle of the Broke and the Unknown. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. All right, so we'll hop back into some of the questions that I had to, I plan to ask Triple B. You have a very unique style. All right, is that something that evolved over the years, and is it still evolving?
Yeah, it definitely is. So that goes back to that advice that I was trying to give whoever's new, right? Establishing this. There was this mindset of how fragrance reviewers were speaking. And when I started off doing fragrance reviews, I tried to follow that format. And it just didn't feel right for me. So I was like, listen, when I'm talking to my friends, right, we talk in a certain way about whatever it is that we're discussing. So I wanted to bring that type of vibe to it. And then from there, I began to grow more comfortable and to speak into that in front of the camera. And that's kind of what you see today. And I'm sure as anything that's sustainable, you got to continue to grow and change to really make it a brand. So, it'll continue to grow, but I think we're in a good place right now.
Excellent. Is there certain things that kind of get you in that zone? I know for me, certain music just throws me in a different space, and a lot of times when I go live, that's kind of like my video persona, and it only really comes out when I'm sitting in front of this camera. When I got certain music on and I'm talking about fragrances, I get into this zone. It's kind of like almost being under the influence of alcohol, but I'm not even drinking.
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of music. Shout out to my bro. He in here too. So, huge fan of music. I've done music forever, but I'm a hip hop head, right? So I like rap more specifically. I like gangster rap. It just puts me in a certain vibe that I like to be in, right? So that's what I listen to when I need to get pumped up. I just go ahead and kick something on. Maybe I kick it on the fragrance lounge and then come down. I sit up there and write some videos, come down and just get it popping.
All right. Pac or Biggie?
I like Biggie.
All right. I was going to have to end this conversation right quick. Who were some of your role models when you started making videos? Were there anyone you not necessarily copied, but you're like, you know what? I like that brand. I like the way they come across. I like their editing style.
Yeah, so I watch certain people for certain reasons. And I think it's probably the same way for anybody who watches a video from me or Cuba versus a video from somebody like Steven, right? I think it's a entertainment value versus just the real knowledge. So like Steven was probably for me one of the most knowledgeable people out there, adolescents, right? And I would subscribe to listen to him. But before that, it was Cody at Drac Doc, right? So I watch him. Al, Street Sense. He had a different vibe, right? He had a whole different vibe that he was doing. So he dressed more in terms of how I was, more like what I was dressing like, and then also, just what his vibe seemed more to be on me. There's also a guy that I watched named I'm trying to remember his name. His channel, Raw Frags, right? So his collection was just crazy back then to me. So I would but those are the guys who I would listen to more often back then. And obviously, I've been able to take some of that stuff and then really make it my own,
That's what's up. I'm going to take some more questions from the audience. I'm going to scroll all the way down. So if you left a question before, I didn't get to it, drop your question again, because I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and this way I don't have to keep scrolling. So please, if you have questions, drop them. While they're waiting for that to happen, are there some changes you would like to see in the fragrance community? And it could be with the way brands, approach us and work with us. It could be just amongst content creators. Are there some things you would like to see?
I guess, there's a few things, right? I think one is, at times, there's like a lot of this drama. I'm not really sure where it comes from, right? But I try to stay clear that I think the best way to do that is just keep your eyes on your own paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of happens from people just trying to worry about what someone else is doing. I think from a viewer perspective and then a content creator perspective, I think a lot of viewers. Now, I won't say a lot of viewers. Sometimes you get the few people who think that because you talk about something, that someone is paying you to say something, right? I know what you do for a living, right? I know we've talked about this. You could easily go out and buy any of those fragrances that someone sent you, right? Nothing of them sent you a bottle is going to sway your opinion. So I think that's kind of what people have to realize is that the few people who think that because you receive a free bottle that you're just going to go ahead and give the company high praise. Or sometimes because of your influence, right, that we talked about, you just may not talk about the brands you don't like because you don't want to set them off on a bad foot. So I think that's kind of where everyone has to understand the role that they play and kind of what this whole frag-com community is. And then outside of that, man, I just think I want to see everybody be successful in this because there's a lot of room. There's much room for you to be successful, me to be successful, Cuba, Red Alessa's, Jeremy, and whoever else is on the way. Whether it's Scented Waters or Equality Fragrances, there's a lot of room and enough people for everyone to get views.
I totally agree with you. I can't even add anything to that. That was well said. So I'm just going to scroll back here and get some questions. So let's see here. I know I see mention of question here from Cuba. Who wants to see a Cuba and Big Beard collab? So if you guys want to see that, drop it in the comments, and we can look forward to something like that. I know that's going to be off the chain.
That almost happened. That was my fault. It didn't happen though, because we just happened to be in Miami at the same time. And I left the day before he was coming. I tried to rework it, and I just couldn't make it happen. But that
my goodness,
when it happened.
Yeah. Shout out to Cuba. He definitely has a thing that like no one is ever going to be able to do what Cuba does. Know,
right?
And people just need to realize that like there's a lot of copycatting in the fragrance community, but no one's ever going to be able to copy you. So, just be friends with everyone. Trust me, no one can ever steal your style. Exactly. Let's see here.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Question here from Queen of Niche, Carolyn, all the way from the UK. She says, what are your thoughts on Black Dragon?
Black Dragon, I gotta dive into that one a bit more. So I've sprayed it maybe twice at this point because, to be quite frank, like I'm trying to test a lot of the stuff that I'm working on for me right now. So I think I've tried that twice. Like the first time, I felt like I got some greenness there. But when I went back to it the second time, I'm like, no, it's not really that. So I think right now I need to dive into it more before I kind of bring it out and have you like a full, this is what it is. But I definitely got to dive into that one a bit more, along with that Pirates 2.0. That's just super floral right there. But I got to dive into that one too. But the one I've worn the most is obviously Mula Mula Rouge, but that one I got to dive into some more too before I give you like a real opinion.
All right, I will be diving into those myself. Yeah. I'm going to ask a question just because you mentioned it. I often say on my channel, my platform, I don't see gender in fragrances. Where do you stand with genders in fragrance? Yeah,
so it's funny that you said that because you put that in my mind, right? I've always like, all right, you see what this. It is, you know what I'm saying? But I think really it could go either way. It really just depends on who's wearing it. You know what I mean? Whoever's wearing it, if you feel confident enough to wear a super floral fragrance as a man, then do it, man. Do it like a boss, and I'm not going to judge you. You know, and I feel like the same thing for a woman because I've mentioned this in videos before, like, oh, you know, I don't want a woman to wear this, but who me to say that, right? You wear what you want to wear, and if it works for you, it works for you. You're not wearing it for me. At the end of the day, you're wearing it for yourself. So I think you do what you want to do on that case, man.
Yeah, I have two little stories. You know, I don't see gender in fragrances. All the fragrances back here, my fiance and I, we share. Well, there are two fragrances that she wore, and I just couldn't get with on her. One is Jeremy Fragrance Office.
Yeah.
It on her, I was like, no, this is a mind confused. And you know, Mancera Cedrat Boise, she put it on. Yeah. And I was like, no, that really? Is not working. And I love Cedrat Boise, but it wasn't working on her.
Yeah, so, yeah. I love it. That's a dope one.
Let's see here. Question here from Good Sense. They're asking, how many fragrances will you initially release?
I have, man, I'm supposed to hold it until that. Right. I can listen. Let's just say the collection has grown. It was supposed to be one number, but it's more than that now because of how great the fragrances turned out. There was a lot of obviously submissions that came in, and because of the tweaks and how the fragrances turned out, you know, they were like, hey, we need to do more. So, you know, whatever you want to do, let's do it.
All right. I'm looking forward. I really am looking forward. You know, I'm often asked, you know, Mr. Cologne, Glenn, you know, when are you going to do a perfume brand? And I say a couple of things. One, I want to get a little bit more informed on perfume materials and stuff like that. But I feel for me, when that time is right, it's just going to happen. I've been thinking, you know, I already know, like, if I do a fragrance brand, what it's going to be called and how they're going to be, you know, how the collections are going to work. Like those things, I've only had those thoughts, like, maybe in the last 3 months.
Yeah. Hey, listen, let me tell you, because I had the same thought process. I'm like, you know what? This is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to be. One thing I'll tell you that I've learned in this process is to have a backup to the backup to the backup to the backup. Because what you'll notice is once you put this out there, you start looking for, you know, trademarks and all that stuff. There's these companies that's kind of eaten up a lot of names, and they just to them, and they doing nothing with them. So if you got the idea and it's not taken, I would say go ahead, pay the money, and get a trademark now. That way, you are locked and secure when it's time to do it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let me scroll down, take some more questions from our wonderful audience. Shout out to our audience. We got 67 people on right now. And we've had as many as 80 people on at one point. So shout out to the audience. We appreciate you all. I've got a question here from Cras Gabrielle. What is the channel / places where the fragrance line will be available?
Yeah, so right now, it's kind of the same format that they've done. Now, I have a few other people that we're looking to bring in on this, but so far it's been directly through Navitus Parfums. And that makes sense because, obviously, I mean, we're selling stuff online via marketing from me, then that would make sense, right, to do it that way. There's been Oswald, who has carried the line, right? And then there are two more retailers who have carried it. And then I think Max Aroma has had it before. So I don't think they're going to step outside of the people who have it now, but we have a few other people in mind who would like to do it. I have a good relationship with Saks down in Miami. I would love for them to carry it, right? And then other places that I have good relationships with, I would love for them to carry it as well. So we're trying to work through that stuff to see who we can get to carry it and where it makes sense. Just based on the splits and how everything works. So once we get everything worked out, we'll be able to give it all the details. But I think that, again, all that stuff is coming real soon.
All right. Several months ago, maybe even last year, when the conversation about me doing a perfume brand was posed, a lot of people said, well, if you do a brand, you know, that will be the end of you talking about other fragrances. Or actually, it was about if I was to become a brand ambassador. And I said that I think it's fully possible to talk about one brand, either as an ambassador or as a brand owner like yourself, and still talk about other fragrances. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's 1,000% able to do it, right? I think really where the difference comes in is one, as long as you remain who you are, right? You're a super honest guy, integrity is there. So as long as you keep that, that's fine. I think where the difference comes in and where people feel like you can't do it is, let's say we take a random celebrity here, right? Or athlete. They can promote for many brands and no one's going to say anything about it, right? Because they feel that this person has earned it, right? But for you coming through the ranks where you may have been at 1,000 followers at the same time, right? But your grinding, your hustles put you to 25, 26, and your opportunities are a bit different. Or maybe your decisions to work in business are a little bit different than others. Let's put you in a good position, right? So I feel like some people have that thought process because of that, and they saw you come up, that you're not able to do that, right? Or that you don't have the same, you can't put yourself in this celebrity because you're not a celebrity. That's fine. But again, at the end of the day, YouTube, Instagram, any social media platform should be treated like a business. And when you're dealing with these brands, you got to make sure that your platform, when you're talking to these people, they're going to go out and buy based on your recommendations, right? And that equals cold, hard cash to these companies, right? And your ability to talk about, companies free of bias or just, free on your own, then feel free to do it. I don't think it's an issue at all. My personal opinion on that.
Thank you for weighing in on that. Let me scroll down here. Let's see here. Let me see more questions.
Shout out to everybody who out there.
For sure.
I'll tell you.
There's a question here from Taj1906. Who are some really small reviewers that you watch, if any?
I've been doing it more so like let's go with Winter Michelle, right? I tune into her, and it's a whole group of them over there. I don't remember all their channel names, but I watch them. Dan from Scented Waters, I watch him. Like, shout out to him. Equality Fragrances, Casual Fragrances, Carolina Fragrance Reviews. Like I try to dip and dabble into everybody, and because I'm in the car, like I said, like a lot of times I'm either in my car, I'm just listening to it on a speaker while I'm doing something else that don't get to go through and comment, but I am, checking it. You know what I mean? You got to be able to pulse. You got to check and see what's out there. That would make sure. You know what I'm saying?
I'm taking notes. I plan to put some more content out on YouTube, and that's another thing where I feel like I'm more ready. I feel like, just even the way I review fragrances has evolved, and I just feel more comfortable, talking about a fragrance. I don't want a review to just be a list of notes. I kind of want it to be my take on the fragrance, and I had to arrive at that point. So I feel soon we may see more content coming on my channel. So let's see here. Excellent question from Super Fragrance Lover 78. Shout out to Super Fragrance Lover 78. He actually reposted our graphic for today's live session, so I appreciate that. His question is, how do you feel about wearing clones versus originals?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Because I'm coming out with my line, you would think I would have a problem with it, right? I just don't want people. I feel like we have a mutual respect. Hopefully that they won't do it to me. But I feel like it's a stepping stone, man. Not everybody can afford, like the fragrance I have on today is $575 for a bottle. Not everybody can afford that, right? I feel like you got to be where you are, and if you have a fragrance that you like and that's in your price point, then buy that. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of you going broke trying to say that you have X, when you could get Z and still get the same outcome. That's my personal opinion on that. But you do what you got to do, baby.
All right.
We'll talk about it. I just named one in the video the other day. And again, you don't have access to all these things. So at least for me, and a lot of people, tier one markets where everything is. So you might like, if I can blind buy this fragrance for $60 or blind buy a fragrance for $600, which one you going to do? You gonna do
right. Yeah. What was the name of the fragrance you were wearing? Because I had a brain fart when you came on. I was like Royal Crown, but now I'm like, oh, Royal Crown. Which one are you wearing?
Upper Class. It's like the spicy Oriental scent, really seductive, light. Upper Class.
Damn, I don't remember that one. I spent some time with many of their fragrances, but I don't remember that particular one. But yeah, Royal Crown has some nice fragrances, and yes, they are pricey. It's called Royal for a reason. All right, let me scroll down here.
Exactly.
Let's see. We got about 10 more minutes. Let me see here. I want to make sure I can get questions from different people. Let's see here. This is a question from Napa Fragrance Collector. Favorite pair of red shoes?
I'm a Giuseppe fan. So if anybody who knows my shoe collection, I have Giuseppe's. And because of this, I have a fragrance lounge that we're calling it now, but I've reincorporated the shoes back into that because a lot of people are like, oh, we want to see the shoes again. So they're there, but I think any pair of red shoes is good, but I really like Giuseppe's a lot. So I go with red Giuseppe's all day.
I feel so lost. I feel so lost right now. I don't even know what a Giuseppe is.
Well, listen, I got to get you tuned in, baby. I get you tuned
in. For real. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. Same person. What's the last fragrance you bought?
Today. So shout out to Quality Fragrances. So I've been looking. I've had this Tom Ford Rive d'Ombre. I love it. Right. I love Tom Ford Rive d'Ombre. I ran out and I was on a hunt, but I was like, I don't want to pay resale prices for it because people want way too much for it. So he found a 250 ml bottle, and this morning I woke up to a DM like, yo, it's here, take it or leave it. He sent me the link to it, and yeah, had to grab it. So
all right,
that one. So that was today.
All right. What are some of the fragrances you enjoy on your wife?
For her, I like Delina on her a lot. But what really works for her too is Juicy Couture fragrances. But I
love that fragrance.
Yeah, but it's like Majestic Woods. It's not the normal ones that most people gravitate. No. So you like Majestic Woods, Royal Rose, and I think Glistening Amber. I think that's what those are called. I love Tom Ford Velvet Orchid on her. That to me, that's a really solid scent. She likes darker fragrances as well, but also, Aventus for her still smells good on her, But she has Delina Exclusive, Cassidy from Parfums de Marley. So those are all great fragrances on her for me. I'm down with it. And then also a lot of the Killians that she enjoys as well. Obviously, I'm a Killian fan, so I'll just say that's because of me.
All right. Who has better taste in perfumes?
Me. Because but here's the thing. Like her thing is like makeup, everything else. But like she enjoys fragrance, but she's not like she's gonna run out and grab it. However, when I told her that the Tom Ford was available this morning, she's like, "What you waiting for? What you waiting for? You ain't buy it yet?" Yeah,
so she likes it too.
Yeah, she loves it. Actually, that's how we got it. We originally purchased it for her, and then we was like, "Oh man, this is amazing." That was one of the ones I didn't want to, like you come across it at the same time, be like, no, this one for me. But nah. Yeah.
No, are there fragrances that you guys both love, and if she ODs on them, you're like, hey, you're kind of going hard on that bottle?
Nah, because we keep bottles separate.
Nah, oh really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Separate.
I guess I'm the only fool. Our fragrances are all together, but there's only been one fragrance I had to be like, babe, go easy on this one because I don't want to have to buy it again. And that's Baccarat Rouge. Oh, she was going in on it, and I was like,
Just go ahead and buy another one, man. You ain't got to worry about it. Just give her the one. Yeah, but give her
the way I am with fragrances, like. I rotate. Like I don't wear the same thing like maybe twice in the same month. Yeah. But she'll wear it every week if I let her, you know what I mean? So, I didn't want to buy another bottle of Baccarat Rouge.
I get you. It's just, if you don't have this, do it.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to take some more questions. Okay, here's a nice question from Nia Jazz Sigma. Niger Sigma. How many gourmands will you have in your line?
Oh man, that's the part that I hate because I'm so transparent. I want to be able to say it right now, but I can't. I just can't. Just know it's gonna be there, and just know that I love them. I had one on the other day. No joke. I was walking around inside the store. Somebody like, "Hey, what do you got on? Like, I want to buy that." And I couldn't tell them what I had on, but it was one of mine. I felt really good about it. Like this is great research right here out in the field.
Yeah. There's a question here from B. Trundy. The question is, I love your budget frag hunts. What are the best frags you found at TJ Maxx or Marshalls?
Yeah. The best ones I've found. I think probably the best smelling fragrance that I found was the Kanye West one, but it had this bug or something flying around in it, so floating. So yeah, I can't wear it. But that was probably the best smelling one, and then also the Beverly Hills Polo Club Blaze, I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, and that was like a spice bomb alternative. So
okay, I like spice bomb.
Yeah,
I like spice bomb. We have a let me see, Tim Wall. Tim Wall is here. Tim Wall is here. Said, "Good to see my black brothers. Love the fragrance. Love for fragrance." Shout out to Tim Wallace. Thank you for being here.
Shout out. Right. But his comment go away?
No, it's still here. It's still here. I don't know if when I scroll, if it affects what you're seeing, but yeah, his fragrance, his comment is still there. I'm just not sure how far I am from the bottom of all the comments.
Oh, gotcha.
Actually, I'm pretty far from the bottom. All right, let me see more questions here from Little Boo Bree. Little Boo Bree. Are you excited about? Their question is: Are you excited about Tom Ford Bitter Orange?
I did not officially see that. So when you scrolling through Instagram, it shows a preview of somebody's video. Steven had it as a preview, so I got to go back and hear some more about it. I'm assuming I'm going to be excited about it, but I've not heard much about it. So yes, I'm excited to get my nose on, at least see what it smells like.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Question here from Special J. Do you wear Delina yourself?
I have not. I have not worn it myself. I know you like to wear it, but yeah. I have not worn it. I guess it maybe for me because when I smell that fragrance, I immediately associate that with my wife. Yeah. So that could be the difference there. But I have not. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
I had to break in her room and take it from her, so she would.
Here's a question here from Zulu, Mr. C1. What do you think about seasons for fragrance?
I feel like wear what you want to wear when you want to wear it, right? I know, like I was in Florida, so it was really difficult for me to wear, those thicker fragrances in that hot weather. But I felt like if I didn't wear it, I was never going to have the opportunity to. So that's worked out. In most cases, at least for me, in most cases, I'm in a climate controlled environment. So I feel like wear what you want to wear. Whether, you're in your car, you control that temperature. You go into a building, you may not be able to control that. But it's generally speaking, it's going to be in that 70-ish range. So where would you want, in my personal opinion?
Fair enough. We'll take about two more questions, and then we're gonna wrap up. While I'm scrolling here, is there anything you wanna say?
Yeah, man. I guess because I like to be transparent, I apologize for any questions that I wasn't able to answer today. I just say I got to stay within the control group of what I'm able to discuss at the moment. I'm trying to get everything wrapped up and out as soon as possible. But again, man, we just want to make sure that we're doing everything in the right way because you only get one chance to make a first impression, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of long lasting and it's worth every penny that people are going to invest in this product. And then again, man, I appreciate you having me on here and everyone who's tuned in and got with us, whether you like the channel or not. I respect it and I appreciate everybody.
For sure, man. For sure. We'll do 2 more questions. Let's see. Question here from Graphy Acoustic. I like that name. What do you think about YSL Tuxedo?
Oh, I love it. I bought it because of Cuba. I blind bought that one because of him. But it's a great fragrance. There was a mix between him and damn it, she been gone for a while. Damn, she just posted. I forgot. It was 2 people, Cuba and someone else. Kind of is the reason why I grabbed that fragrance there. So it's dope. All right.
My brother here from Dallas, Pulse Points, he said that him and the missus keep their fragrances together. Maybe I can petition tonight and say, hey, Big Bear Business is keeping his fragrances separate. So,
you got to. And it's one of the number 1 causes for divorce in the country is money, and the second is shaving fragrances. Okay.
Oh man. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna take one more question. I'm looking for a real good question. Let's see here.
Yeah.
And Triple B, if you see a question you like, feel free to.
All right, yeah, I haven't even touched this phone yet, man. I just been letting you navigate. I guess whatever the next question pop up, boom.
Hey, that's one way to do it. That's one way. All right, the very next question that pop up, we take in. So whoever drops a question with a question mark gets the spot. We got 71 people on. Thank you all. So here's a question from Wallow. Question here from Wallow Taj 1. What will differentiate your fragrances from the rest? That's an excellent question.
That is a great question. So I think the difference for me, and not saying that people haven't taken this approach, but I was really strategic in making sure that these fragrances did a few things. And I was very clear with the perfumers and the briefs in terms of what I wanted. I didn't want a fragrance to smell like something that was out there on the market. I wanted to chase a 10 out of 10 experience, but I also wanted to be able to compete with the fragrances that I really enjoy. I went through hundreds, if not thousands, of comments trying to get direct feedback, whether on my videos or videos of other people, to see what worked, what triggered people to say this is something I wanted to buy. I saw a post out there where people talked about perfumers that they immediately buy for, things of that nature. And I wanted to take all of that and think about the reasons that people wear fragrance and really try to create some super solid fragrances around that. I love fragrances, and I didn't want to do something that was super challenging to wear. I think that happens where people, they want to show how much of a frag head they are, and their stuff becomes where it's not easily acceptable, right? So I wanted to wear something that you could enjoy, that's easy to wear, and you really get your money worth in terms of longevity, projection, smell, and presentation. Hopefully that answers that question without going too far.
Very well said. Very well said. I'm going to play a little clip here real quick.
Hey.
We're gonna
oh, hella big. It's your boy Big B, and we back for another edition of Big Business. With 30 cities beginning to open across the country, it is clear to see why many of you out there want to put...
Hey, Triple B, man. It's been real fun, bro. This we've been chopping it up the whole time. We're up on an hour now. So we have to end things. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I look forward to smelling your fragrances. I look forward to seeing you flourish in this fragrance space. You've done the time. Now it's time to get those rewards. I have no doubt that the fragrance community is going to support you. And looking forward to doing this again. Maybe once the fragrances are out.
Definitely. I appreciate it, my brother. Anytime. Maybe we could do one of them when you're smelling them. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
Precious. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate y'all for joining. Shout out to everybody who joined, man. You heard. Hit the goddamn like button or something. Whatever we can do on Instagram, you do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this on my page. As soon as we get off now, I'm gonna put it on my page on my IGTV. Yeah. I've seen people actually pull those videos and put it on their page. There must be an app or something So if you want to do it, you're more than welcome to. If you want to just grab certain sections, you're more than welcome to. And I'm going to cut you loose, brother.
All right, my brother. Have a good one, all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we got about 20 seconds left. I'm going to wrap things up. We're going to close it out with...
your best foot forward. I recently got a message from someone on Instagram like, yo, Big B, help me out. Insert city is opening back up, and I want...
All right. So thank you all for being here. Till next time. I'm out.